Hey guys, Dave Norona here from Stinger Foils. You've purchased your Stinger e-foil and I am so excited for you to get out and fly on the water. It's arrived and today I'm going to show you how to put it together. So you've got your board that'll come in a padded board bag. You'll have your battery, which will come separately, and then we've got this awesome case here that houses everything else. So you've got your Devil Ray front wing in a protection bag, and you'll see why a little bit later. Also, if you want the bigger Manta Ray 2 front foil, it'll come with that. And it also comes with your rear foil, again padded in, your aluminum fuselage that's made right here in Canada, your battery charger, a tool kit, which has all your tools and the screws that you need, and as well as your trigger that has a float on it, of course, and your mast and motor, which is right here. So we're gonna get started in building this e-foil. The first thing that you're gonna do is take your mast and you're going to take the 3 plugs, and you can come on in for a closer look. You're gonna put those into the board, and there's a little track there that it sits on, and then you're going to take your 4 long screws and you're going to hand insert them in. Now, one thing I also use is I use a little bit of reflex grease. This is electrical grease, so around, especially if you're in salt water or just any marine environment, it's nice to keep them greased so the screws will work really well, and they'll just last. Everything will work better and last longer. So initially you're just going to put all these screws in hand tight, and that just makes it nice and easy so that you're doing it properly. You don't want to strip any threads here, and that's really important. Then you're going to take your Allen key and you're just going to twist these down into place. All right, well, we've got all the screws in, and I'm just going to finish up here. What I do, instead of pushing on the back here and using lots of torque, I just usually keep my finger halfway on the Allen key, and that means you're going to snug these bolts down nice, but you're not going to over torque them. They don't need to be reefed on and cranked into the board, just nice and snug. And you know, if you can leave this mast on once you start riding. I leave this on and then just take it down to the beach like that. I take the wing off. And then once in a while I'll take these off and just re-grease them, just again that maintenance. So now we've got this and it's on nice and tight. The next thing we're going to do is actually pull out our rear wing right here. I'll take the fuselage out, put it up here so you can see. We've got the fuselage, we've got our rear wing. They come in these great padded bags. So again, when you have the wing together, you can just put the bags on the wing and actually keep this together. But for the first time, we're gonna pull this out. So this is the Devil Ray 1550 centimeter squared front wing. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna mount that to the front of the fuselage here with these 3 screws. All right, so again, the best way is to put all 3 screws in, screw them down, and then we're gonna do that last tighten again just so that they're snug. Again, you don't need to over tighten these screws, and just make sure they're all snug together. Perfect. And also the rear. There are different size screws here when you'll notice the different sizes because the foil has a thin part and a thick part. So just notice that when you're inserting the screws. If you insert it and it's a little higher, it means that you've put it in the wrong place. But you're going to get to know, and what I do is when I take this apart, I insert the screws back into the fuselage so that you know which screws are there. And like I said, I actually keep my foil like this, and then I just use the bags, your protection bags, for traveling, putting it into the car or truck just like that. And when I put it onto the board and then I'm ready to go, I take these out. And now we're going to insert the top of the foil onto the mast. And again, nice and easy here. Again, these are just 2 simple screws that we're going to point down. And again, just get them into place like so. and then we've got them, and then tighten them down. So really, really easy, and everything is plug and play. There's no adjustments. There are adjustments included in the kit to adjust the rear foil. If you find that if you're using the bigger manta ray and it's coming out of the water really easy for you, you can actually put a little insert here on the rear wing, and that'll keep it down a little bit longer. But for most people, you're going to be on the Devil Ray wing as well, just due to the speeds that you are on with an e-foil. So we're complete right there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to actually twist the board up like so and lay it down. And you can see how nice it is to have this on a grass area. So if you're at the beach, best to put this together on the grass and then walk it down to the sand, or you can take your board bag down. If it's a rocky shoreline, put the board, and that way you're just going to keep it looking nice and stealth. It just does such a good job with the full carbon fiber. And then when we open this up, these nice screw holes, you'll come down around here, and we're now inside the board. And so this is your battery connection. These are your 3 connectors, and they're color coded, so green, red, and black. And they just go into, black goes into black, red goes into red, pretty easy, and green goes into green. So just make sure those are nicely inserted. And again, using an electrical contact spray to clean them once in a while, as well as then putting a little bit of Real X grease on there, oil. It just actually keeps everything great in a marine environment. Not a lot of water gets in here, so and everything's watertight, but you'll see when we close the hatch how we do that. And then the next thing is you're going to take your battery, which is right here, and you're going to insert it into the board. And this just basically slides in like so, and then just push it right in. Okay, so now the battery's in the board, and now we can hook up the battery. So super easy to do so, and we're live. And all you're going to do, I'll get the trigger out, is you're going to hit the top of the battery right here, and those lights will display, as you can see. So we have a full battery, of course. We'll make that noise, and it's now connected, and then it'll start beeping like this, and that is because we don't have the control on. Then you're going to take the control and you're going to push the side button right here until it comes on. And once the control is on, that beeping will stop. And if you look at the prop, you can see we'll give it a little, and now we know we're live, okay? So what I do is I then shut this off. Okay, it'll start beeping again. And then we close our hatch. And Stinger's done a really cool job with these closures. They just screw on. And you just tighten this, and this will keep everything watertight, so it's super easy. Okay, now remember, when you add your battery to your board, now you've got the full weight of the battery in the board. So what I like to do is I get out, when I go down to the beach, I put everything together, and then I'll move it as close to the beach as possible. So if the grass goes right to the sand, I'll move it right onto the sand, and then I walk down with my battery, insert it, turn it on, close the hood, check it, and then I walk into the water, and that eliminates me walking a full distance with the board in its heaviest state. It is easy to carry, but especially if you're going down to rocky areas, which I often do here in Squamish or Porto, is you want to do it in an area that you're not going to drop it or slip on the rock. So here we are. I've got it ready now. And then what I would do is I shut this off. I don't carry it when it's on. And then what I do is I grab the handle and the back of the foil, and now I walk down to the water. And then what I do is I put it, as soon as I get to the water, I put it into the water upside down, like so. And then you're gonna actually walk out until you get to the at least chest deep, okay? Especially if it's rocky or a bottom. You wanna get out until that, and then move the board in front of you. Now you're ensured that you're not gonna touch the foil to the ground when you jump on it. So I'll walk out to there, flip the board over, and then jump on it, and then I turn it on, and I'm ready to foil. So super easy. Likewise, when I come in, I'm gonna get down on my knees or my stomach, and I'm gonna come into the beach. Hopefully you kind of know the beach that you're at. Don't come flying in because you don't want to hit the foil on the bottom, whether it's rocky or sand. Come into where you think it's still pretty deep, and then I'll get off the board. If you can't touch, I'll flip it over there. So I flip the board over into this position, shut it off. Then now I have it, and I just swim it in until I can touch. And then I do the same thing, and then I'll put this down, pull it so it's upside down, and then I just walk it right out of the water and back to the area where I'm going to disassemble it. All right, and so for me, what I do when I travel is I take the main wing off the foil because you don't really want to travel with this I have a pickup truck, so I take this off and then I leave the mast on the board, and then the board bag closes, and they've done a really cool job with the board bag that it closes around the mast. And then I put the covers on this. I take the battery out, and then I have the battery, my bottom foil, and the board bag. And then I have my bags and everything else. So super, super simple. So hopefully that shows you a little bit of how to put your Stinger e-foil together. As you can see, it's super easy to do. Just go slow the first time you do it and manage. Again, adjust all those screws in so that you're not going to strip them, and do it nice and easy. And we'll see you out on the water.